Hi, I'm Dawson, and welcome to the Mr. Maple Show.
Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to the 10 at 10 for April 16th of 2024.
Guys, I'm Tim. That's my brother Matt. We're MrMaple.com. Mail order business. We ship directly to your door. And we're going to talk about 10 new trees that are getting listed today at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pro tip, there's actually 20 getting listed. You can sign up for our weekly emails to figure out the other 10 ahead of time.
All right, guys, let's jump right into it with Acer Palmatum Goshiki Coto Hime. Now, this one's highly sought after, really fun plant. I don't know if you throw this one in the Makawa category, if you throw it in the Shishikashira category.
It's kind of in between.
I absolutely love this one. It's a nice compact dwarf, tight shingled layering, kind of got that Shishikashira crumpled foliage to it. You can actually get some seasons where this leaf's out a little bit more orangey red. Absolutely love Goshiki Coto Hime.
It's really popular for bonsai and container plants, but in the garden, this is a fun little dwarf that gives a unique texture with its small foliage and its tightly layering habit. Fits in small spaces, but makes a big impact in the garden when it does.
This one's gonna work zones 5 through 9, can handle a good bit of sun even in that heavy zone 8. Great for the container garden, typically only 3 to 4 feet tall, even in 10 years, making it a very, very compact dwarf. More announcements to come, but we will be doing our annual Memorial Day open house. That's gonna be Monday of Memorial Day. Stay tuned for future details.
Guys, next up on the table, we've got Acer Palmatum Jeto Orange. Sometimes pronounced Jeto Orange.
Jeto Orange is maybe one of my favorite fall color lace leaves. This one kind of hits what people want orange yellow to do in the fall. Peak, bright, yellowish orange colors. Underrated for that spring interest as well. This one can get some crazy shades to it, where it has a yellowish eye with a bright orangey border.
The exceptional colors really make this tree stand out. The thing I like about these high grafts is this has a nice low spreading habit. So starting up a little bit higher is an excellent way to start out with Jeto Orange. I mean, this is such an exceptional tree. It's not your red, it's not your green, and it's really not your typical bronze. It's something different. And the lobes on this are very thinly dissected on the sublobes. Gives a soft, elegant feel to that weeping cascading habit.
Typically a 5x5 lace leaf. This one's gonna make more of that low cascading umbrella. Again, this one's gonna also work zones 5 through 9 on the East Coast. I give those zone examples for the East Coast because they work great on the max zone for the East Coast. Throw all the zones out the window on the West Coast for the max zone. Zones really go by how cold it gets. Down to zone 5 will definitely work for this plant. Gets good cold tolerance and heat tolerance. I think you're gonna love Jeto Orange, especially some of our customers in the Deep South. Really performs, does great, an exceptional fall color tree too. I think one of the very best fall color lace leaves. All right, guys, next up on the table, we've got a mystery cool plant. This is the Mystic Jewel. Now, Mystic Jewel is a really fun one. We're listing this one as zone 7 through 9.
Now, the interesting thing about this is it is very late to leaf. It is a fast grower though, and when it leaves out, you can get some lavender purple hues when it's first leafing out. You can get some yellows in there too as well. I mean, it goes through some extraordinary color changes.
Now, this is one of the very last trees to leaf out. A lot of people will say, I haven't had mine leaf out yet. That is not uncommon. Little is known about the species. We speculate that it might be a hybrid with Acer livianum. They just listed as Acer Palmatum X in Europe. We're still learning about this one too. It's our second year growing this one, so a lot of people have been learning along with us about Mystic Jewel. I love the color patterns. Those lavenders are exceptional. I've actually had this tree leaf out yellow in the early spring, then get to a bright lavender shade. Really, really fun, really exceptional shades. Pairs awesome either way with hot blonde, hot tamale, hot sauce. Some of those other livianums really look cool with this. The lavendery shades you get on this are almost just otherworldly. It has an ethereal glowing quality to it. I think you're gonna love Mystic Jewel, especially when it hits its peak colors.
Now, I actually love its color the best during midsummer. The new growth flushes during the summer are that bright purple again, and that's when this tree really shows off over top of that darker green, olive green, older foliage. I mean, for a tree, I think this is going to do very well in high heat areas, definitely. It's really new to us. I mean, this is one that we don't know that much about, but this is a cool tree you should definitely try out in your garden.
We've listed it as 7 through 9 as we did before. This may work in zone 6. Again, it's new to us. We don't really know. It hasn't been trialed in the US long enough at zone 6. Maybe something that works there as well, but I absolutely love the color patterns on Mystic Jewel. You'll be cool with a Mystic Jewel.
Next up, we've got Acer Palmatum Benny Hoshi, also known as Ruby Stars.
This is another fun one. Now, this compact dwarf red, many credit it with Olson, but also many credit it with Del Laux. Now, Del Laux named This one, Benny Hoshi. Ruby Stars is the translation of that, and they were cousins, so likely from the exact same plant. One of my favorite things about this dwarf red is the green veining. So you get this exceptional green etching throughout every single leaf, and the fall color on this one is extra special, going from this dark maroon to a golden, bright orangey yellow.
It's also quite unique in the fact that it has Acer amenum leaves. So it's got that leaf almost like a bloodgood, but they're smaller. It stays dense and compact, and it has a nice upright form. So overall, this makes a really beautiful tree, easy to use in the landscape, but the brick red color with the lime green veining really adds something extra out there in the landscape and garden. And with that very special fall color Matt was mentioning, this tree is a great tree to pair out there in the landscape to really brighten up a lot of different colors.
I think a lot of people will be really shocked to see the difference in this one from spring to summer to fall. You can get a little bit more greener emeraldy shades in it midsummer. That fall color is exceptional though. I mean, it really glows in the fall landscape. Take a picture of it in spring, take a picture of it in October. You're not gonna believe they're the exact same plant. Grab you a Benny Hoshi today on the 10 at 10. I'll take the big one. No, you can have the big one.
Next up, we've got Acer palmatum Wakehurst Pink.
This is fun too, guys. Now, Wakehurst Pink is interesting in that the pink isn't long in the spring. You get some incredible pink shades in the fall, but I actually love the kind of mint color this one gets. It's an off green that's very weird. I don't know that there's many other maples that are this shade. Now, in sunlight, the new growth on this will have some bright pink hues to it as well.
Yeah, the coral pink new growth is exceptional. And for a Matza Murray style foliage, that is outrageous. The fall color on this tree can range for some bright orange reds to bright pink reds. And so this is one of the better fall color Japanese maples as well. I fell in love with this tree after I saw it in fall color, and I was like, man, that tree, it needs to be used more in the landscape.
Yeah, I do like this kind of early to late summer, early to late spring color on it. It reminds me a little bit of green tea, the cultivar for the color. It's a little shade of green you don't see in a lot of the other maples. It's a softer, more mint green tea kind of color. Absolutely love that. Again, some accentuations of that with pink new growth, but grab you a Wakehurst Pink today. These are gonna work zones 5 through 9, typically over a foot of growth a year, reaching around 10 foot in 10 years.
Guys, next up we've got Acer pseudosubuldianum Islid.
Now, this is an exceptionally cold tolerant Acer pseudosubuldianum.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking that this can handle down to zone 4. It's got a nice cascading habit, and it is a lace leaf Acer pseudosubuldianum.
Great grower here too. This one tends to fill out pretty nicely, typically at around 6 by 6 in 10 years, so a little faster than some of your regular lace leaves. This one does have that pseudosubuldianum influence on it, making it likely a hybrid with palmatum. Very cold hardy, great fall colors on this one too. I've had bold oranges to bright reds on this one in the fall. You get a little bit of a purple border in the spring on this one as well, kind of fading to a light chartreuse green by summer. Been an excellent plant for cold areas, but it's worked great for hot areas as well.
I like it because it's beautiful. The Acer pseudosubuldianums add so much to the landscape and garden. The fall color is outrageous. They're extra cold tolerance. But with this, you get the best of both worlds. You can enjoy this in a regular climate or down to zone 4. So, I mean, it really expands what people can do with Japanese maples.
Grab you one today. Those will go quick. Now, this is one that's going to go fast. A lot of people have been hyping this one up in our Mr. Maple Friends group on Facebook. If you're not in there, definitely go join the rest of the Maple Mafia. If you're on Facebook, check out Mr. Maple Friends. People are posting tons of content in there daily. I've been seeing a ton of Acer sheirsolum royalty picks. This is a Talon Buchholz introduction. It's been only growing in popularity, and a lot of people have been talking about how underrated this one is lately.
Guys, it's red. It's also an Acer sheirsolum. So it's a red Acer sheirsolum that is pretty spectacular. What it does is it gives a unique texture and foliage out there in this Matza Murray style foliage with green bark down below it. Excellent contrast between the two, and being an Acer sheirsolum hybrid, it can actually handle those zone 5s when you get those cold polar vortexes come in. The sheirsolum hybrids often perform better than the straight palmatums.
These are beautiful plants. Tim mentioned that green bark. I love the color. You get some picked up pink red on top of that. Really a showy plant. Likely a sheirsolum hybrid, probably even in the range when Talon was first collecting Bronze Age and Purple Thunder. Now, Royalty has become a fan favorite here at Mr. Maple. A lot of people have been asking for this one to get back in stock. We're always going to be producing a lot of those trees from the Floral Wonder collection from Talon Buchholz. And Royalty, I think you're going to see this one only gain in popularity. It's been one that's been great. I love the reddish orange fall colors as well. All right, y'all, next up on the table, we've got Acer palmatum omato. This is a really fun tree. Now, this rivals for me Osakazuki for fall color. Omato can have some of the brightest cherry red fall colors of them all. A little smaller than Osakazuki in the same time frame, typically around 10 foot in 10 years, a little slower growth rate than Osakazuki, a little bit more of a red in the fall. I absolutely love what this one does.
Acer palmatum omato. What's a matter with you that you don't have this in your garden? Aren't you glad? I love dad jokes. This tree is this upright Acer amenum that has electric fall color. The bright red fall color is exceptional. And being an Acer amenum, this tree is fairly cold tolerant as well. Makes a good sturdy structure out there in the landscape with one of the best fall colors. Omato gives you that summery feel during the summer. And this is a tree that just continues to rock it out each and every season.
Hey, I'm back. We got Acer palmatum, Kristen Star. Guys, you're gonna love this one. This is an Area 51 introduction. That means we kind of helped produce it here at Mr. Maple. Now, we didn't name this. Our friend Bill and Kristen Taylor found this as a seedling. They're down in Spartanburg, South Carolina. This, for my money, is one of my very favorite spring interest trees. The tree's a dwarf, compact shape to it with some of the best shades of orange and yellow you'll see anywhere.
The orange and yellow in this is outrageous. It's one of those plants that stays shorter and denser. It's basically an improved version of Akane. And Akane is this tree that was someone gave $1 million for at a Japanese auction.
So if you want to give us $1 million for a Kristen Star, you can, but they'll be here for a much lower rate.
1 gallon's very cheap today on MrMaple.com. Comparison to the $1 million. This is a tree that gives you amazing spring interest, but even later in the summer, smaller compact shrub with a yellow-green color. And that just brightens up the landscape, contrasting well with many of the greens and the pure yellows.
I love this one. It is such a fun plant. Jay Yorch bought one of these early from us. Shout out to Jay Yorch. He has some incredible photos he posts from time to time of this one in the spring. You can get so many good shades on this one. When it's getting early morning sun, late day shade is kind of the ideal position for this one. Although the original gets a good bit of sun in Spartanburg, South Carolina, you can get some unreal shades of orange. Then you get a little bit more of this yellowy glow to it most of the season. Now, it also is one that has very, very small leaves, and it tends to be multi-stemmed and dense, making it great for container gardening.
Now, did you know we have a podcast that you can listen to on your favorite podcast platform? Go check it out. Give us a 5-star rating. We'd really appreciate it.
If you don't know, you know now. We're back with Ramona.
Now, Ramona is a brand new introduction. We released it last year on MrMaple.com. I was found by one of our friends in the Mendoza family, and this thing has this pink color that's outrageous in the spring. It goes to a green bronze during the summer, but later in the summer, the lower growth goes to a yellow with pink growth on top of that.
This thing's phenomenal. It's like you just took it and turned it up the color even more. Reminds me a little bit of Akane as well for that shade because you get some of that pink in there. Absolutely love this one. My favorite color is what you mentioned, that late summer, because that division of color in the summer is exceptional. That new growth is exceptional. Yellower, older growth, bright yellowish pink new growth with an eye to it. Reminds me a little bit of a more Matza Murray Orange Dream. Reminds me a little bit of Akane. It reminds me of so many cool trees. I absolutely love this one. Typically at around 6 foot in 10 years. This one's also going to work zones 5 through 9.
I mean, it's a little bit of what you love about Katsura and a little bit of what you love about Gable's Glory mixed into one plant.
It kind of keeps morphing. I do recommend a little late day shade in the hotter climates for this one. You're going to get better colors if you're giving it some 3 p.m. on shade. Love this one. Put it in a big planter, play around with where you're planting it. I think you're going to love it.
Well, y'all, that was our 10 new trees we listed. Many of these trees will sell out fast today. Check out quickly because our website doesn't hold it for you until you complete that checkout process.
Take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.